All right, welcome everybody. So glad to see y'all here this morning. So what are we going to be talking about today is going to be scripts, the perfect scripting, and how to build awesome videos. I wanted to talk about long form as well as short form for you guys because I do both. Most of you guys may not know because most people see my short form stuff, but I will open up just for a little bit of credibility and you guys can see my experience. I have on my channel 337 long form videos that have been completed at this point in my career, and I'm still actively posting 1 month, 2 weeks, 12 days, 3 days. So this is something that is just a part of what I'm doing brand wise. I am not going to take all the credit for it at this point in my career. I have a team that helps me with my scripting and that helps me with editing and thumbnails, and that's why it looks as good as it does now. But if you scroll back far enough, you can see the difference in different people that I've worked with over time, and also when I was kind of doing it myself, right? So don't shy away. Start somewhere, right? And you got to get off the ground at some point. You all have to, you have to start somewhere and just get started making the content. Because I mean, if you look back and look at some of my views, like this one right here had a 1.1K views and it didn't even have a thumbnail, right? And some of my newest videos don't even have that many views with all the perfect thumbnails and the SEO and everything done on it. So just post a dang video. You never know what's going to take off or what's going to do well, and what people are going to resonate with. So I highly encourage you guys, you know what I mean, to just get started, start putting some content out there. And today I want to give you some building blocks to get you started on your first 3 months if you wanted to. If you start posting a video a week, I have 3 months of content that you can do on long form if you wanted to start in the YouTube game. One of the first questions a lot of people ask, well, how long should my video on YouTube be? 5 to 10 minutes is really that kind of sweet spot. So they are considered longer form for a reason. They have to exceed a certain amount, just because YouTube wants people to stay there. That's the kind of platform it is. They want people that want to consume on a longer period of time. So that's the reason why these videos you will see are all going to be much longer than anything you'll find on a regular platform. So I encourage you guys to get out there. Now you'll see some of my property tours are much longer. It's okay if you exceed that time frame. It needs to be something that's super engaging, because if you start to exceed, like, see, I went in that 13 minutes and stuff like that, just make sure you really understand scripting and what you're talking about, and that you're constantly re-engaging the clients through those videos. Because if they're just getting to know you, it's better to keep it to that 5 to 10 mark, because you probably haven't mastered how to lay out your scripts perfectly or how to keep somebody's attention throughout. Because we talked about, like, at the beginning of a video, you want to hook, right? We hook the person and then we carry them through the story of the video. And that's the idea, is the hook is that strong. But as the video goes on in longer form, you re-hook the people is the part that some people don't understand. There's got to be moments where you hook them again within the video. And I'll show you guys exactly how I do that. I'm gonna show you guys one of my tours and I'll kind of break down what I do in it, and you can kind of see. So this is informational, where I sit down and just talk about things that are going on, and these are property tours that I was doing. So we've been testing different types of content to see what resonates, and some of my property tours, as you can see, get higher views, and some of these educational ones get somewhat of the lower views. But I'll tell you this: this is the reason why I do, right? Lafayette, Lafayette, Louisiana. Let's see, not weather, but Lafayette, Louisiana real estate. Let's see what pops up. Oh, videos. Nope. Maybe I'm looking. No.
You're back on weather.
Oh, yep. Look who pops up first. Look who pops up second. And what's that from? This YouTube, this Instagram. Look who pops up third. Look who pops up fourth. Because I've been consistently do it. Look, fifth, sixth. They look up Lafayette, Louisiana real estate. Who's the first person they're most likely going to see has the most credibility? See, there's probably some other people, like Josh, whoever. There's probably some random people who are also scattered in here, but my videos rank the highest, even above Katie Real Estate, which is a huge real estate company here down here, right? There's something to be said about staying consistent and just putting it out there. right? I want to rank high for people who are searching our area. And I do have people that call me that are relocating to this area. I have two buyers right now that I'm currently working with. I have another buyer that I put under contract just recently, and they were all from YouTube. I had someone who called me locally. She had me list a home and sell a home for her. One of my favorite clients, loved working with her. They are truly some of the best, I would say, leads that you'll ever get. They don't convert instantly sometimes. I usually have to still follow up with these people because they'll usually call me and they inquire, and it's usually like I'm ready to buy right now. It's usually like, hey, we're scouting the area, we're curious about Lafayette, we're pretty sure we want to move to this area. And they'll be like, we're going to be moving over this summer, or we're coming down, we want to see some things. So what I've done in many times is when they're coming down to the area, I take them for a tour. I drive them around, I take them to lunch, I roll out the red carpet for them. And I promise you, it has been great for retention where these people know, love, and trust me. I've had one situation where one of them was like, we came down, we really loved it, but we just don't feel like Louisiana's the move for us. And that may happen in some cases because, I took the risk of, let me take them around. It wasn't a huge part of my day. It was an hour that I took. And what I did was I told them, I said, hey, no problem. And they were like, thank you so much for your time. We feel like you wasted my time. I said, yeah, I did not. I said, if you don't mind, leave me a Google review about your experience, right? Because they had an experience of me just driving around town and being helpful. And I got a Google review at least out of it, right? So there's ways to make connections with people, and that's the reason why I do these things. So long form absolutely does work, but you need to take the time to understand the thumbnails, the SEO, what goes into your scripting, and you have to be consistent with it because that's what YouTube wants is somebody who is going to consistently post. They want at least one video a week. I've had some weeks where I've stumbled a bit. I was sick or out of town or different things going on, and I maybe got lost about like maybe 2 weeks. There was like a 2-week gap here or there. And so it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does rank really, really well. What's crazy about YouTube is that you actually even rank on people's TVs. So my mom showed me when I was at the house the other day, she opened up her TV and my videos were underneath her like TV, like smart TV of shows to suggest. A friend of mine who's not a friend, but an inspector that I know, he's all the way in Baton Rouge. And he sends me a picture when he opens up his TV, same thing. My videos are being suggested. And I had somebody the other day that messaged me. It's not even a client of mine, a guy I know that goes to my gym. His mother messaged him. She lives in New Orleans. And she said, who is this realtor that I keep seeing in Lafayette? Do you know him? And he goes, yeah, that's Drake. And so he messaged me to tell me, he was like, hey, my mom saw your videos, whatever you're doing, keep up the good work. Because, he's like, he said she is likely thinking about moving here in the next couple of years. But he's like, yeah, whatever you're doing for your branding and your videos is awesome. So this stuff does work, but it takes time and commitment. You have to be as consistent and you have to almost think about it just like prospecting, right? So people that are committed to prospecting, they're taking, 90 minutes to 3 hours a day where they're sitting there hitting the phones, they're calling FISBOs and all this different stuff. This can be the same way for you, but you have to be consistent about it in the same way that prospecting is. It has to be a non-negotiable for your schedule of when you video. But I just wanted you guys to kind of see this. Now I can show you one of my videos, and I want you guys to kind of break down a little bit about my script and kind of understand a little bit of what I do. We're also going to talk about short form today. I'm not just going to talk about long form, but I want you guys to see long form just so you guys can understand the power of it because it is much higher conversion rate than short form, in my opinion. But again, it is one of those that takes a lot longer to get the conversions. You have to stick with it for a longer period of time to start getting these high conversions. But these clients, I will tell you this, are the most loyal and the hottest lead I think you can ever get that just calls you. So let's break down first is my hook. Let's see if you guys can identify my hook on this video. This might be the most insane outdoor living area and stairwell, believe it or not, that I've ever toured on this channel. You guys need to check out this gorgeous luxury property. It's brand new construction by Overton Homes here in Lafayette, Louisiana. All right, so it's really an extreme statement, right? What is weird about this first statement? The most insane outdoor living area and stairwell, believe. What is insane about what I just said?
The most insane, which could be like opinionated, but
yeah, he might be.
I guess he's saying that people are gonna be like, well, is it?
Yeah. Well, and first of all, people are going to think to themselves, a stairwell. Like, what's so great about a stairwell? Like, nobody's ever really impressed by that, right? So it's kind of an extreme statement that it intrigues curiosity, right? So that's the whole idea is that that first moment. And also, if you notice another hook, it can be visual. So notice what is my body language doing? The most insane outdoor living walking toward the camera also is much more engaging. So I'm saying my hook as I'm walking towards the camera, which is also bringing that client, you closer in. So all of these things are all visual engagement hooks right from the get-go to get somebody to want to engage with this video, right? And the visuals, of course, from my editing team are very, very helpful to also make it look really good. So it's always about the hook. Stairwell, believe it or not, that I've ever toured. And then I talk about some details of the property. You guys need to check out this gorgeous luxury property. It's brand new construction by Overton Homes here in Lafayette, Louisiana, and it was a actual parade home. We're here in Audubon Plantation, the gorgeous subdivision that's so exclusive with gorgeous luxury properties. And this one's set at just under 1.2 million. It is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home with an extra half bath plus an office space. And it's got so many details. You can feel the quality that the builder had with this property with just under 4,000 square feet. I'm telling you guys, you're going to love it. Let's check it out. So walking into your gorgeous boy. All right. And so then I'll walk you through the tour. Now, there is moments in the tour where I rehook the audience. And I want to say in this video, if I remember correctly, it's somewhere maybe right here. And appliances. So you got the Thermador, really cool appliances. They actually have Wi-Fi built in so you can control it from your phone, making it more of a smart home style property. You got, of course, the Thermador 6-burner right here, gas grill, that gorgeous hood with the detail, just like the cabinet. You got the trash pull out, the apron sink, all really, really nice touches with the antique brass. We head over to this side of the kitchen. Notice those gorgeous lights that they have here. But then again, we have that nice seamless look that you really like with a beautiful Bosch refrigerator. It's that dual door. And then, of course, you got the drawer freezer right below it. So really nice quality. Love the big handle and the overall look that you get with this kind of fridge. And then nowadays, most people got the coffee pot. They got the blender for all their smoothies. They got all these different things that sit on the counters that can be kind of ugly and unsightly. Well, guess what? You can hide. You can get rid of all that stuff where your guests or anybody that's come by does not have to see them, or you don't even have to see them on a regular basis. You hide them right there in your appliance garages is what they call them. So right off your appliance garage, of course, you always need lots of storage. The cabinets are all here, but you need a pantry. Beautiful antique wood door. Check out the crystal knob as we walk in. And you got, hey guys. Crap. All right. Well, so the idea of a rehook is that I start talking about other things that we're going to be touring in the property. Like, you thought this pantry was awesome. Wait until you guys see the master bathroom. It might be the most luxurious bathroom I've ever toured on this channel. Like, saying those types of things also gets people excited to want to hang on in the video for what's coming up next. So we're always teasing about what else we're going to be showing to get them excited and to get them to want to hang out and stay. And so that's what I mean by rehooking throughout the video when you're in long form. Rather than just simply going through the tour of the whole house, you always want to stop to yourself and say, what are the hottest moments of this property? Because I want to tease about those moments as well and get people excited to want to stay through the rest of the video, right? So that's the whole goal with the long form portion. And then you always want toward the end is always having that establishing, oh, this is going to go through a whole digital marketing expert on fire. Yeah. I'm going to mute that while it skips through. Oh, no, I can skip going. I want to show y'all the closing. Company again, but you get to enjoy. Backyard, no neighbors right behind you, just an open field. But I want you to picture, once that pool is in here and you got that water feature flowing, the sounds that you would hear hanging out here on your back patio, when the breeze is really, really nice, blowing right in as you're watching the game with friends and hanging out or having a game night, right? Grilling. You can really, really picture an amazing summer in this property, and I am obsessed. So if you are interested in touring this home or any other homes in the Lafayette area, my name is Abshire. I can help you buy, sell, or relocate to this area, and I'd be honored to work with you and your family. I've been doing this for over 6 years here in Lafayette, so we are your specialists. My number is always going to be on the screen right here for you guys to call or text anytime. Reach out. I'd love to help you, and I will see you guys at the next gorgeous home. Let's go. This might be so the end of the video, we always make sure our phone number and the way that we want them to communicate with us, the call to action is there and it's clear, right? So at the end of the video, we want exactly what we want them to do. And for me, I want you to call or text me. Numbers right here on the screen. You don't want to say call, text, email me, send me a DM, check me out on Instagram, go to my YouTube. Like, no, it's too many things. They're not going to know what you want from them. I make it very simple. I want you to call or text me. right? And people don't always listen. One of my clients I'm working with right now, actually in their pre-approval process, she messaged me, she DM'd me on Facebook, and it was in my Facebook request. Thank God I checked that. Found you on YouTube, love your videos, love your content, blah, 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 right? So they don't listen perfectly, but she still did send me, I guess, a text message or message me. But that's the idea is we don't want to confuse them about where to go or how to communicate with us. We want to be very, very clear. But I can tell you what that client most likely did was she Googled or looked me up on Facebook to see my credibility probably on top of this. And then when she saw my profile and everything that I have on there, she probably felt the most comfortable just messaging me there. Maybe she was intimidated in the fact of using my, my private phone number or whatever that's on there. But the whole idea is, at the beginning, we have a hook. Throughout the video, we have re-engaging hooks. And then at the end of the video, we can talk about our credibility and how they can contact us. Because that's what I talk about at the end, where I say, thank you guys for watching. I've been helping people buy and sell homes for over 6 years here in Lafayette. I've helped hundreds of families, and I would love to or be honored to help you, right? So establish your credibility. My number is right here on the screen. You guys can reach out to me at any time, call or DM me, and I would be happy to help you. Right. So it's as simple as that. That's only really the formula in when we break it down. Now, I know what you're probably thinking to yourself, well, where the heck do I come up with these videos, Drake? Like, you know what I mean? You have a team that's helping you. Like, what are the whole ideas? Well, I was going to give you guys the formula of your first 3 months. This is how you would build it out if you're going to start a channel from scratch. This is what you want to do. So the first thing we're going to do is an introduction video. This video is not about virality. This video is not about getting a ton of eyes on it. This video is about an introduction to your channel. Okay. Now you want this to just tell everybody exactly what you stand for and what they can expect from your brand. So if you're curious about mine, when you come to my channel, it's the featured video here at the top. Or it should have been. It used to be. Maybe they changed this. There was, hold on, where's that video? It's this one. This is like a video commercial basically that I filmed, like everything that I stand for as a brand. And so that's the video really that should be the first and foremost. I wonder why they don't feature it here at the top anymore. It used to be right here, right when you'd open my channel, but maybe they changed that. Anyway, but that should be the first video to welcome people to your channel because they may not have, when you're going to start posting videos, you're not going to have a lot of content, so they may not know who you are. Well, you want to talk about the areas that you're from. What do you specialize in? What's your experience? How well do you know the areas and all those things? You're really kind of letting them get to know your personality and what they're going to expect from your channel. So that's the whole idea with the first introduction video. So here, again, it's a 5 to 10 minute video. Just talk about, where you're from. You can show them your house, where you live. This is the neighborhood that I personally live in the area. This is why I picked this area. This is why I'm passionate about real estate. This is why I'm passionate about Lafayette. The things that I love the most about living here. Just a little bit for them to kind of get to know you and who you are, right? So same thing, you would do just the introduction video first. Number 2 would be X things that you need to know before moving to blank. This is great because this video can be used in a million different ways, right? The X things. So let's say, for instance, 5 things that you need to know before moving to Youngsville, Louisiana. 6 things you need to know before moving to Broussard, Louisiana, right? 4 things you need to know before moving to Lafayette, Louisiana. I can do one on every single neighborhood, every single city, right? So that's a video that can be recycled a lot throughout. So it's a very easy one, and you can change the numbers. Like I said, if you saw I was changing it, I could do 10 things that you need to know before moving. Maybe I don't have a lot to talk about a certain area. 5 things that you need to know. Right? People love the whole bulleted point idea of learning about a place because then they know as they're going through the video, I want to find each and every point. And the great thing is those points are the rehooks, right? Because I want you to stick around for this one. I want you to stick around for this one. I want you to understand that next one, right? Or they can skip through the video to the ones that matter the most to them. Like, oh, mate, I want to learn about the best schools, or I want to learn about where are all the best restaurants. Like whatever it is, the points that you bring up. Okay. Pros and cons of living in blank. again, these videos, this is not just one video we're talking about. This is multiple, right? I can make so many videos along with this because I can talk about each and every different city or suburb neighborhood. Again, that's not one piece of content. I'm giving you, 6 to 7 that you can make because I know all of you guys have pretty vast areas that you can talk about. And I know some of you guys are here in Lafayette, and I don't want you to be intimidated to not make some videos just because mine rank. Just because mine rank high does not mean that yours won't ever show up. And I am a certain personality some people may not like. They may watch that video and may think, ugh, I can't stand this guy's voice, or I don't like his stupid face, like whatever. There might be certain things about that people don't like about me. And they may see Elena and hear her talking, and go, oh, she's such a breath of fresh air. Like, I love this girl. Like, or they may just personally have a preference that they'd rather work with a woman than a man. Don't be intimidated by the fact that somebody else might be ranking higher than you, doing it better than you with the editing. That's not the case. You are unique and you have your own personality and flavor. And absolutely, you can resonate with an audience that the other person may not. Where to live in Lafayette, Louisiana. Every neighborhood you need to know about. You can do a map tour is an option. So you can actually do a physical tour, but if you're too busy, you can do things such as map tours. To show you an example on my channel of a map tour, I wonder if we put it in a playlist or not. Community tours, seller videos, property tours. I don't think I might just have to scroll. Oh, nope, not shorts. Uh, I have some map tour videos and I want to show you guys what that style of content looks like because it's actually pretty easy. You guys just use something like Loom and then you're able to actually do a map tour of the area. Let's see. I know Mary probably recognizes this style of video. Remember with Krista? That's where I first started. Let's see. Where's my map tours? Let me know if y'all see it. There it is. Look. Okay. So you're thinking about moving to Lafayette, Louisiana. So this is basically where I do a Loom video and information see about the grade of Lafayette and the demographics and then overall I showed one area that you can look forward to. A map. International is our key to fame. I think it attracts about 400,000 people to the city every single year. So what I started talking about in this video as you go through it, I talked about, hey, downtown has lots of festivals. This is where lots of restaurants are. I zoom in and I'm like, hey, this is the main drag that goes through. Muncus Park, it's our main city. You can consider it our central park here in the area. This and that. Now, my editor is able to take pictures from online and show pictures of these places, right? Or even little screen videos. That's up to you guys if you want to edit to that level. But even just a map tour of you talking about, hey, these are all the points of interest. Hey, you should know in the mornings, traffic is going to be worse going up Johnson Street than coming down south through Johnson Street because people that live outside of the city are traveling inward. Like those types of information are so important for people. And the cool thing is a lot of this stuff can be turned into short form content. Right? Have you ever wondered what's the worst times for traffic, in the worst directions in Lafayette, Louisiana? You can talk about those types of things in short form as well. So a lot of this stuff can translate to the same type of content, and you can use this to make multiple pieces of content. But yeah, the map tours are really, really easy where you can zoom in areas and just talk about all the different things that go on in those areas, point out different grocery stores. The cool thing is what I've done is I'll click on some of these stores too, and I actually scroll through the video, like the pictures that they actually have of some of these places. So that can even save you some of the editing trouble. So like you can click on some of these things and click through some of the pictures to show people what it's like in those areas. I talked about the Hyman Performing Arts Center. You can click on some of the restaurants and it'll show you some of the food of some of those places. Look like poor. This is a restaurant type place. So all this stuff is all easy ways to show people what's going on in these areas. But you can throw in community tours and property tours. So the difference between a community tour, a property tour obviously is just about one home. A community tour, I'm going to be talking about everything that goes on in that area. So I can talk about the favorite coffee shops, the best shopping. I can talk about what are the price ranges of the homes in this area. What is it, a walkable lifestyle, or is it a lifestyle that only promotes using public transportation, or that I have to ride the bus or whatever, right? And these are all your video ideas. So you could have, I mean, in this, that's 2 videos a week. If you actually just do 1 video a week, then you're turning this into 6 months of content, right? And that's not breaking it down to where I'm doing every city. So if I look top 10 type of businesses in Lafayette, Louisiana, right? Property tour number 3. So we throw a property tour in there, we throw a community tour in there, we throw market updates in there where we talk about everything that's going on in the market. Market updates are probably, I would say, the ones that people least engage with because they can be a bit boring. So I highly encourage when you do market updates to really think about how you can make them exciting about stuff that's going on in the city or how it really relates to what's happening nationally, right? Because the market updates, it's like, hey, we could talk about, days on market and, this is what things are selling for and where the prices are at. But what does that have to do with me? Like, why should a buyer or seller care about those types of things, right? Why does that affect me? Those things are going to be more important and what you want to focus on in the market updates. The market updates are important though because they establish credibility and they show people that you can actually break down data. That's why a market update is really important. Now, if you guys are not interested in long form, I totally understand that because I get it is a big animal to take on to do. But at the same time, all of these same things translate to short form. So you don't have to make long form videos out of this. You can make short form pieces of content where you talk about all of these same things. Um, important. These are just important things like that it discusses about the video. I'm not going to break it down for you guys, but just so you can kind of understand, you know what I mean? That first 60 seconds, you want to have your hook for your video, then you have your calls to action, but it talks about you can put it in Chat GPT. Like that's the problem is a lot of y'all are going to say, well, what do I talk about for 8 minutes? I promise you that time goes by very fast when you start just riffing off about areas that you know, because you mostly know these areas. Just go in Chat GPT and you just give it, hey, I'm making a YouTube video. I want it to be 8-minute script for a real estate agent's YouTube channel explaining my 5 reasons why I should move to Lafayette. Right. And it's going to give you stuff. And the cool thing is, if you don't like a suggestion, you can tell it, hey, I don't like number 5. Can we insert this instead? Right. You can continue to narrow down the script to become exactly what you want it to be. And the best way to do it is make bullet points. So rather than marrying to a script, a lot of times what I'll do is I just make bullet points of what I want. I'll look to the side, I'll gather my bullet point, I turn back to the camera, and then I deliver the information. And then the cool thing is when the video is done, all I got to do is go back and crop out those moments of when I'm looking at the thing and coming back to it. And then now I'll have my completed video, right? So people would never know that I was looking at a script or referencing the script throughout the edits. All you got to do is just grab your info, turn and look, deliver the info, same thing. Easy way to do it. But I'm going to share this whole document with you guys so you'll have all of this information. Just, you know what I mean? Y'all can read through it and just find all the different stuff. But I mean, as you can see, there's a ton of stuff in here. What does $250,000 get you in Lafayette, Louisiana in 2025? What does $800,000 get you, right? You can talk about each and every price point. That's a million different videos right there that you guys can talk about, right? What does $400,000 get you in Youngsville or in River Ranch, right? You could talk about each and every neighborhood. Debunk myths about living in certain areas. Everyone says we're the hurricane capital of the world down here in the South, but how much do we really deal with hurricanes? You know what I mean? Like, how bad are they really? Everyone says that, insurance is a horrible crisis out here, but what is the real truth about prices of insurance for homes down here, right? There's lots of things that you can talk about. Avoid making these mistakes. Those types of videos that are kind of like, it almost sounds like fear mongering, but like, oh my God, you don't want to move to this area or you don't want to make this mistake by moving to this area. You'll make a horrible mistake. Those types of videos usually do really, really well too, because people want to know, oh God, what do I need to avoid? Like, I don't want to screw this up if I move to that area. Let me move that for cleanness to this page. Community tours, obviously, people love community content, guys. Where to go on the best dates, where are the best coffee shops, where are the best restaurants, where are the best gyms. Just think about normal lifestyle of people and what they want. And I promise you, they're going to engage with those types of content. They really want that. Where are the best schools? What are the best, walk and bike trails, best parks, any of that stuff. Of course, be careful with the best schools thing. The way that I gauge that to be careful not to break any community, what is it? What's that violation? You know what I'm talking about. The law.
Fair housing, fair
Fair
housing.
housing. To not do fair housing is you do it reporter style. You say, I want to show you guys this website that I found this information that has ratings from people from our area, right? Then I'm just relaying information. I'm not giving my opinion about it, right? So according to niche.com, these are some of the areas that a lot of people from this area say are good schools. As a real estate agent, I'm not allowed to give my opinion on these schools, but I do know for a fact that they are popular in this area. And that's the reason that they're getting these ratings, right? So, be very, very dim, be very, very, cut and dry with just relaying information and not actually, right? Or you're pointing people to where they can go and find that information rather than giving your opinion about it. Okay. We're going to move on. This has all those details for you, but I want to get to short form because short form I know is one that you guys probably use a bit more and probably are a bit more interested. So let's break down some short form stuff. So how to create trending content using the START framework objective. We're going to identify trending ideas from various platforms, and you're going to create engaging, high retention content from the START framework to tell compelling stories. So the first thing we're going to do is we can research trending content ideas. So how do you research trending content ideas? The first thing is you can use Google to search for trends of things that are popular. What are some things you guys right now can think of that are trending or like a lot of people are talking about right now? This shouldn't be bold. What are some big topics that people are sharing right now?
I don't know. Maybe like,
The sky's the limit.
yeah, I'm
What's
still seeing, well,
so
I'm
what's
still,
go
sorry.
ahead.
I'm still seeing a lot of agents trying to like help buyers understand about interest rates and all that too. I mean, that's still such a big topic.
It is, but at the same time, like how long have we been talking about interest rates?
No, I'm so over it.
Right. So
Honestly, I'm so over it.
right. So to me, that's not really like a hot topic, right? So
Okay.
let's do this live together. So let's go to Google and let's look up hot topics right now. I'm not even putting in real estate. Notice that. Oh, wait. Hot.
You going shopping at Hot Topic?
Yeah.
No.
Hot news topics. All right. So breaking news and stories. Let's use ABC. Stocks slide on the eve of Trump's tariff announcements. Boom. Tariffs is a huge thing that people are talking right now in the news, right? Everybody, oh my God, the sky is falling tariffs, right? So I could actually newsjack this where I can talk about the fact of like, how are tariffs going to affect the real estate market? I guarantee if you start plugging in the searches like tariffs and how they're going to affect the real estate market, you will likely find a news script that is going to talk about that. And then that is exactly the script you're going to use to make your piece of content. So, for instance, uh, how tariffs affect real estate. Look, how, no, no, okay, never mind. I thought I had it. Real estate. Look, it already has some information right here according to the AI, but look, this buildem.com, how will tariffs affect real estate in 2025? Boom. I have my article. And the beautiful thing is it's already pulling, look, National Association of Home Builders, it's pulling all this information. Now, you guys want me to show you something real high level? I'm going to go in here and I'm going to copy, right? All right, nope. I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this. Now I'm going to go over to ChatGPT and I'm going to say, I need you to break down this article into bullet points, easy to understand. That's going to fix that. Easy to understand. I want I want a very strong hook to start to grab attention. Please explain this so easy anyone could understand it. Right? And so now I'm going to give it the article. I'm going to paste it. And now ChatGPT is going to read this article for me. And look, it's going to come up with a hook. And look, easy to understand breakdown of the article. Guess what I just created for myself? Yeah, a video script right out of this. Boom. Why are home renovations and rental prices climbing so high? Here's my hook, guys. Start the video. I'm going to have my camera. Guys, you don't even need anything but this. Turn and face the window. And I'm going to look at it and I'm going to go, have you noticed that home prices are rising so fast right now? Or like what is it? Home renovations, rental and property prices. Have you noticed that home renos prices and property values for rentals are climbing so fast? Right? That's the hook. They're going to go, yeah. You know what I mean? When they see that video and they hear you saying that, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It might not be just inflation. The tariffs are quietly making everything more expensive and really starting to hit the real estate market. Here's why, right? So I can say tariffs are extra fees on products, right? And that is being passed down to the average consumer. So of course it's digging into your pocket, right? There's trade wars that are happening across the country that are affecting all of these goods, right? So all these homegrown businesses, everything every day. So I go through each portion. And here's the thing, as with TikTok, the beautiful thing is as you hold the button, it's recording. And then the second I let go, it stops. So I literally can go grab my one thought, record, stop, let go, come back, record, stop, let go, to where I don't even have to go back and edit it a whole lot later. But I literally can just talk to the camera, right? And rattle off some of these points right here. Right. But I would sift through this and just find the hottest points of everything that it talks about. But simply look, tariffs. Simply put, guys, tariffs are more expensive because materials of prices go up. Higher build costs, higher renovations, and to manage properties becomes more expensive. Higher costs in general means that home prices, rents, renovation budgets are all going up. You were planning on renovating your house in 2025. Well, guess what, buddy? It's going to be more expensive, right? So do you see how I just created a script, like very, very simply, right? And this could be multiple scripts, right? You can break down each part of this if you wanted to. Talk about how it's affecting other countries, not just the US, right? Or why does it matter in real estate? Why should tariffs matter? Are tariffs a big deal for real estate? Why should it matter? Let me break this down for you guys, right? So really, really simple. And that's what I mean by newsjacking, where I don't really even have to think about it too hard. Notice all the steps. I just literally went to the news. I went find what's going on, and then I talked about it, right? Um, Luigi Maggioni. Remember everybody was talking about that guy that shot the CEOs or whatever, right? You could talk about these types of articles and find ways to weave it into real estate, right? Pretty much any of these things you could. There's earthquakes going on in other countries. I don't know. Ice. Oh, look, I mean ice. You know what I mean? What if you know, how does all these deportations work if you are an illegal immigrant living and own a property? Right? I could probably look up and find a news article that talks about that. What happens to people who are being affected at ICE that own properties here in the United States? Right? All those stuff, all these things, I know it doesn't sound like I'm a real estate agent, but if I can find some way to relate it back to real estate, it's still going to help with the branding and people understanding, right? We know we're going through some crazy weather right now. How to prepare your home for, you know what I mean, crazy weather. Understanding flood insurance, you know what I mean, with all the crazy floods that are happening, or, you know, hail. How does hail affect a roof? You know, with those squall lines and everything that come through in the springtime, you know what I mean? How do I know if my roof is in good shape from hail? Well, you need to call a roofer to come and check it out. If you make a claim with your insurance to come and, you know, to change your roof, understand that it could affect your insurance values for years to come, right? Those are all little things that could be not so interesting, but you can make it interesting because it might interest somebody who's personally affected by it. Like personally in Lafayette, we just know we just had two major little storms that just came through and had crazy hail and wind and all this crazy hard rain and flooding. It's fresh on people's minds. So now's the time to strike with that kind of stuff, right? Um, Another one that a lot of people love using because I'll tell you, it always goes pretty like everybody's relatable in this aspect, especially when she's a hot topic, is Taylor Swift. I know that sounds crazy, but any news person or like celebrity that everybody's talking about, like for a while, what was it? The Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively case. That was a huge thing. That was all over the news. Everybody was talking about that, about the sexual assault thing. You could literally go, um, Justin Baldoni is about to be sued for millions and millions of dollars by Blake Lively. Let's see how much real estate he owns. And you could Google how much real estate properties that he owns and if the properties would value enough to even cover the lawsuit. Do you see what I'm doing? You kind of see how I'm trend jacking some of these news articles and how I can create content for myself. So the idea is you're never out of ideas, you're just lazy. Let's just be real here. You don't have, it's not that you don't have nothing to say. You just don't put in the work because everything's right here for you to have something to say. You have plenty to say. You just got to do it, right? There's plenty of things that you can talk about. Um, yeah, look, example, search for home decor trends. That's another one. That's an easy one. So I can put in what are the home decor trends for 2025? Talk about that, right? It says leverage social media platforms. So you can go on Twitter. Twitter is big about news, and you can find a bunch of people arguing about crazy stuff, news, viral stories, anything that's interesting, right? An example, a viral story about a tiny home might inspire you about space-saving furniture, right? Uh, with everything being so much more expensive, people are living in smaller homes. What is the best type of furniture that works for saving space? I've compiled the best websites, or I have a list of the best types of furniture to have in small spaces. Um, Looking for trending stories or sounds. You guys will notice, I mean, I've used sounds and all that stuff on TikTok or different challenges that people do. Let's see, productivity hacks. So we're all entrepreneurs. You can talk about things that have made your life easier, working as a business owner. I talked about recently in a video about overwhelm, about feeling overwhelmed in business. I was like, nobody ever tells you when you get started in business that you're going to have moments of overwhelm. I was like, and I personally was told a story that when you're at that moment of overwhelm, that's the biggest point where you should push forward because that's when you're going to have a breakthrough. When you're at that moment of overwhelm, that's the moment you need to push the hardest because that's when you're going to break through to that next level, right? So don't give up. Easy stuff like that. And that video didn't go viral, but I had 800 views or whatever on it. Think about that for a second. You know how much does 800 people look like if they were standing in front of you? Do you know what 800 people looks like if they were standing in front of you? Think about that for a second. You know how much 100 people look like? That's a real producer's party for Elena and Brady and Bryant, right? I had 150 people at Real Producers. If you were standing in front of 150 of those people, I mean, if you converted one or two of those into clients, you would be happy. But imagine if you just got 800 views or 1,000 views on that video. Like, you
Mhm.
don't need 250,000 views. You don't need a million views to do well in this industry. You just need to put out content that is relatable.
I love that perspective. So like that perspective has helped me so much because with the whole like imposter syndrome that some people might have around creating content and putting your face on the camera and putting yourself out there, it's like, and then we look at it and we're like, oh gosh, I only got like 10 likes or, like 50 views. I'm like, wait, that's like 50 people in a room. That's a lot, you know? So like, it's just that perspective shifts really helps you kind of keep going forward, you know?
Exactly. Let me see if I can get it to do this. I think this is a crowd of 800. Let's see. It's crazy what AI could do these days. I want to see if it'll respond or not. Mm. Maybe not. It doesn't even look like it's loading. Oh, there we go. Um, we'll let it just generate that while we talk. But because that's the crazy thing too, is that AI obviously can even make images for you. Like, I mean, you can't find an image you're looking for online. Well, guess what? You can have AI make it for you, right? If you need visuals for any type of presentation or even something that you're talking about in Instagram. Another really popular style of content is green screen. Does everybody know what a green screen style video is?
Yes, and I've played with it, Drake. I have so much trouble with it. I don't know why I do, but
Uh,
I do.
I'll teach you. So some of my biggest videos have been green screen. So this one that got 104,000 views. So this is exactly, let me show you guys exactly because I'll practice what I preach. I want to show you guys exactly what I did. I trend jacked a video and I got 104 thousand views on this. Whoa, so some big news just came out today about the downward revisions that have been projected for the 2025 home sales. This is by Fannie Mae. The forecasts have actually been completely dampened. It's not what everybody thought. I think everybody was so optimistic that after the election, we were going to see interest rates get so much better. We were going to see the interest rates just plummet down and home sales just rise. But according to their projections, it's looking like that the rates are not going to change as much as they thought in 2025. So as you may currently know, our interest rate's been hovering somewhere around that 6.6%, 6.7%, close to 7% up and down lately. But as you can see, as we go through all of these quarters, there are barely any changes that we are going to see come down on those interest rates. So if you thought that it was going to mean, oh, we can flood all back into the market, yes, there is pent up demand and there are a lot of people who are still looking for homes. I don't think we're going to see any dramatic decreases in those interest rates that's going to cause home buyers to just flood like we did in 22 or 23. Nobody can really predict what's going to happen, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it going to be slow and steady, or is it going to be a fast drop? Oh, so I always like to ask a question at the end about people to comment because that also engages. And that's what fueled this video is when it first started, I had like 1,000 views on it. So I was like, eh. Then I came back a few hours later and it had gone up to like 25,000. I was like, what the heck? I started looking at the comments. I have almost 400 comments on that video. And if you go and read most of the comments on that video, it's people saying, yeah, thoughts and tariffs. Thanks, Trump. You're going to ruin the economy. Like, it's what people were fired up about at that moment because Trump, when was this video posted? This is not recent. So I'm saying this was 11/23/24. So this was before or right around the election time or right after. So we just found out that Trump was going to be in office. So that was people already fired up about the fact that he was going to bring in tariffs and all these different things. And so that's exactly why it makes it so much easier when you're talking about a piece of content is when you just take a screen, just take literally a piece of news and just talk about that piece of news on there. And again, use ChatGPT to break down the biggest points of it and make it easy to digest. Because that's the problem is when you start making it complicated, you lose people. When you can make something complicated easy to understand, you are going to gain so much more credibility with people with video. So I 1,000% encourage you guys to use news articles and trend jacking of that sort because those videos do get viral and you have a great chance of a lot of people engaging with that style of video. Obviously, I have so much more in here that we could have talked about. I'm already running out. We have like 5 more minutes, but I want to answer some questions or like anything or any big takeaways that you guys have. I will share this in our chat. I'm going to save this link and I'm going to post it to our Facebook group so you guys can have this for research. But I want to show you guys how much value I'm giving you. Also, oh crap, it didn't paste. I have a page, another page of 130 hooks. I'm going to add that to here for you guys. I thought it had pasted it, but I guess it didn't. I was taking it from another document that I had. Nope. I'm gonna have to come back. I have 130 hooks that you can use from videos, and it literally, I'm just giving you guys all the tools to be able to do this. You just got to go and execute. Like there's no excuse, and the only way to understand is to go and do it and just start analyzing your content, right? So I go back and I look at the pieces of content that are doing well, and I lean into that more. Whatever videos that you find have the little bit of spikes that are a little bit higher than other videos, you always want to go back and analyze your content and say, why did that spike? What was I doing? What was I saying? What was the visuals of that? And you will always find that there is a specific pattern that people start to like from you. right? There was something you did right in the beginning, there was something you said, or there was something visual that happened that made them want to stick around and watch the video. And that's why that video performed better. And whatever that style of content is, start to lean into it more. Try to create more pieces of content just like that because your audience likes it. But that's what all of this kind of talks about here. But also, I'm going to paste in all these hooks. There's positive, there's negative hooks, and you'll kind of see when you're reading through them. But I'll make sure this is that was pasted into the document as well for you guys, so you have that. But any questions or anything else?
I love this, Drake. Thank you so much.
Of course.
You are the king of social media.
Well, I'm very passionate about it because it's such a great way to get in front of clients, and it's free really at the end of the day. Yeah, you can pay for the editing and all the fancy stuff, but I can tell you right now, some of my best videos were not edited by someone else. A lot of times, like that one that I made with the green screen, I did that one myself and I got 104,000 views. I literally just recorded it right in TikTok. I edited it in TikTok and I posted it, and that
Mhm.
happened. It was literally a throwaway. If you listen to the video, you can hear the traffic in the background. The reason why there's traffic in the background was because it was around 5 o'clock in the afternoon and I stepped onto my back patio because the light in my house had gotten too dark. I was like, I need more light. So I used the sunset and I could hear the 5 o'clock traffic all zooming by. So that's the thing about I can make everything as perfect as I want, right? Where my lighting is just like this and I have the perfect microphone and everything. But at the end of the day, it's like some of that stuff is thrown out the window where it's like the sound wasn't perfect. You could hear traffic all in the background, and that one still went viral. But good content will always perform no matter if the other stuff is good. That's why sometimes you see low quality videos or just really dumb videos that have gone viral just because it's very funny or whatever was said was shocking or just like, it was just something about that video that made people go, oh my God, it's so relatable. And so that's why it's like all that quality and stuff makes things better, but it's not always a tried and true. Like you can just put a piece of content out there and see what sticks. Like don't be afraid, just throw it out there. Make 2025 the year where you stop getting in your head about all this stuff. Stop overthinking what people will think of you. In 30 years, are those people even still going to be alive or even care about that one video that you just made? Like think about that for a second. When you're
Yeah,
laying on your
hopefully they're still alive in 30 years.
well, I'm sorry. You know what I mean. I said that wrong. When I'm laying on my deathbed, am I going to think to myself, "Oh my God, I shouldn't have made that one video one time when I was sitting on the toilet"? Like you're gonna no, build a brand for yourself. It doesn't matter what people think. Truly, it really doesn't. Your audience that loves you is going to know and support you no matter what you're doing. So just do it. Get
Yeah,
out of
you're
your
so
head and
right.
just do it.
So right, Drake.
Thank y'all for coming. I appreciate it.
Drake.
I hope this was super helpful.